Well, we're going to see all the flooring go down in this video, as well as the tile shower and possibly the backsplash as well. This is me unloading the flooring that's going throughout the first floor. It's a vinyl plank, probably most accurately called an engineered vinyl plank, but we'll talk about all that here in a second. That really loosened me up, moving that. It felt great. And it feels good to get it in here because for the last 6 months, this flooring has been taking over my shed. Now I get my shed back and we get flooring down. The product is from Hallmark Floors, and it's almost like a construction miracle that this exists. Not only is it waterproof and look exactly like wood, but it's less expensive. So I know wood is better and more premium. I'm not saying it's better than wood, but it's definitely better than wood for me and my family. Sometimes this product is referred to as LVP, which stands for luxury vinyl plank. I think technically that refers to the variations that are glued down. This one just clicks together, as you can see. It's just kind of floating. Oh, that looks pretty nice. That little trim piece, or however they did that.
Yeah, it's called micro bevel.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, that's just a sign that it's a better product.
That it has that little bevel.
The stuff that's super flat, if it gets one little lift at all, like if the thing lifts out and then the edge sticks up, and as soon as you slide something over, it chips it.
Got it.
So these little micro bevels, they keep it from anything ever catching the edge. There's super cheap stuff you don't ever get the bevel on. Over time, you're looking at, like on a sunny day, you'll look down your floor and you'll see little edges.
But the little bevels, that's a sign that you got some good stuff.
Yep.
The advantage to this version is that it's 100% waterproof, supposedly. I'm sure there's disadvantages as well. I stacked this flooring right here, and that was a terrible spot because basically now it has to get moved for no reason. So I feel bad about that, but I stacked it there because they told me to put it there. So it's not just my fault. In my mind, there's only one name for this product that matters, and that's vinyl. In other words, plastic. This is a plastic floor. PVC plastic, to be specific. I wish there was one person we could credit for inventing or developing, vinyl plank flooring like this, but I don't think so. It's just one more step in a long line of products and industries that have benefited from the discovery and development of PVC. I was reading a lot about PVC prepping for this video, and I think one of the best articles I saw was on the Hallmark website, the company who made this flooring. They did a great job telling the story of PVC, and I'm going to condense it down for you here, even more brief. PVC was kind of discovered in the 1800s, but it wasn't really put to work in any commercial application until the 1920s, when scientists were looking for an alternative to rubber, and boy did they find it. The first commercial uses were for coating fabrics for raincoats, and then it really started blowing up as a coating for electrical wires. After that, it's just been one industry after another making use of the material. In the 60s and 70s, building materials started using it, and flooring in particular, and it just started taking off. I can't believe how much it's improved since then. Even just over the last 10 or 15 years. I installed some vinyl plank flooring in probably 2012 or 2011, and at the time, and it wasn't a cheap one, it was a nice one, and at the time I thought it looked pretty good. This completely blows it out of the water. For full disclosure, this house is done, and I've been living in it now for about 6 months, and the floor just looks phenomenal. The only complaint I have is that there really is a substantial difference in the feel of vinyl versus wood. The only way to describe it is that it feels plasticky. It's a pretty simple case of trade-offs, though. You're trading the beautiful look and feel of wood for the cost, durability, the water resistance of vinyl like this. This isn't news. We've all been living with vinyl flooring for basically our entire lives. They just didn't always look as good as this one. Check back with me in like 50 years and I'll let you know how the durability of this version holds up. Terry's laying this laminate going up the stairs also, and he's being extremely careful and precise on this part of the job because you can't tuck the ends of the planks underneath a piece of baseboard or anything. So basically every cut has to be pretty much perfect. The planks are glued down and with two different glues. One for the regular tread here and the riser, and then a different type of glue for the stair nose molding. Well, Terry and his guys are doing the tile on this job as well. That was his dog, Addie, by the way. She was so fun, as you could probably tell. Great dog.
There we go.
Well, here's a starting point. Unfortunately, I was out of town when he got the hardy board and the shower pan and all that put together, but that's okay. I got here before the tile went up, so let's watch him set this tile. It was really fun filming Terry. He was telling me all about the trade and how it has evolved over the decades and all the aspects of it that make it rewarding and also challenging, which he knows a lot about because he comes from a tile family.
My dad and my Uncle Terry, who I'm named after, had Davis Tile in Salinas, California.
Oh, wow.
And so they did work on like a lot of the houses on Pebble Beach, and I just listened to my dad's stories back when he did it. And when he did it, they didn't have no cement board. Everything, your whole house, they did whole houses. Back then, tile, especially California, and probably Arizona too.
Yeah,
probably do a lot of tile.
That's what you do.
So everything was floated. So they would do the sand and cement mix, and then just float your whole house.
So how did they waterproof like the showers?
So they would sheetrock the showers, and then they will tar paper the showers, and then they staple chicken wire onto the walls.
Oh, got it. Hold the mud up.
And then, so then you put your mud in there and you put lime in it to make it sticky. And then when they float the walls, they would float them and then set they didn't have thin set. So then they'd set the tile right on the float job, and they would just like cast dry cement on the wet mud, and then put the tile in there and just beat your tile flat into the mud.
Whoa.
And then it just dried that way. Yeah, it was a totally different process. My dad comes around the jobs now, he's 83 years old, but he sees the way we're doing it now, and he just don't even understand it. He's just like, oh, what? So.
There are a lot of ways to do tile showers, different systems and methods. This method is very tried and true. First, the shower is covered with hardy backer, which is a cement board, and then it's coated with this red guard. This is what waterproofs it. It creates a membrane, and I wish you guys could smell it in here. The smell is overpowering. If you know, you know, I'll put it that way. It goes on pink, but then it turns red when it's dry. That's how you know you're ready for the next step.
Is this curb 2x4s stacked up?
Or what's that? 3 2x4s tall, because your coat is 4.5 inches on the curb. So then you have a 1/2 inch of hardy backer on top of that, and then you'll have your tile, so it'll be a little bit taller.
Terry was great. He was explaining all about his trade, and I kind of felt like I was walking a fine line. The impulse, for me at least, is to hang out and watch all the work and chit-chat and hear all the anecdotes and stories from these subs. But you got to kind of resist that impulse a little bit. Some amount of that sort of thing comes with the territory, and contractors expect it, and it's no big deal. But you are slowing them down. And subcontractors usually bid work based on how quickly they can get the job done. So if you're slowing them down, it can get to the point where it's costing them money. I think 99% of contractors would prefer to have the job site all to themselves. No other subs, no inspectors, no homeowners, no YouTube guys. But I don't think that happens all that often. And you might be thinking, what's the big deal? They're in here in the bathroom. Who cares if someone else is on the property working? But you don't realize they are actually spread out a bit more. They're mixing mud out in the garage. They're unloading and stocking their tile and thin set and grout and all that. They got a whole cut station set up out there. So it takes more room than what you're just seeing here. If you're looking for subcontractors, we put up a video recently that kind of walks through several things you can look for, red flags and green flags, to locate and vet subs that'll do a great job and treat you fairly. I mentioned this in a previous video, but all of these subcontractors were brought to this job by Mike, the general. And that's one of the benefits you get when you hire a general contractor. You pay money for the general contractor to be involved, but I think in a lot of cases, you actually save money in the long run by not having to negotiate and start from scratch with every single subcontractor along the way. If you need help finding a general contractor, we've got an ebook that can help you with that, and we've got a video series inside of Essential Craftsman Academy about that topic as well. Having the right contractor can save you an enormous amount of money, so take your time and make sure you get a good one like we did.